In a magical world, Mash, an extraordinarily strong boy who defies natural order, lives in isolation with his father burned dead. One day, Mash accidentally damages their hut's door, promising to fix it, but only making it worse. Despite Mash's inability to use magic, he and Burndead share tea. Unaware of his father's efforts to compensate for Mash's lack of magic, Mash wonders about his purely physical training. Burndead warns Mash not to enter the city, but Mash, clad in a cloak, secretly rushes there for a limited edition cream puff. Unimpressed by the city's magical displays, Mash reaches the bakery, orders cream puffs, and inadvertently bends coins with his excitement. After fixing them, he astounds the baker. Simultaneously, police officer Brad learns of a markless man in the city, coinciding with news of the divine visionary at the Magic Academy. While Mash strolls through the streets, he wonders about the curious stares, but focuses on enjoying his cream puffs. A chance encounter with a drunk officer named Terry results in a messy uniform and upset Terry, who berates Mash. Despite good intentions, Mash accidentally rips off Terry's uniform, promising to wash it. Brad arrives, mistakes Mash for the markless man, and approaches him. Burndead intervenes, grabbing Mash, and they escape. Brad summons a magical bird to pursue them. At home, Burndead scolds Mash for disobeying, forgives him, but imposes extra workouts. Reflecting on Mash, Burndead understands his son's desire for the city after a life in isolation. Meanwhile, as Brad's magical bird watches, Brad arrives with his men seeking Mash's whereabouts. In the woods, Mash effortlessly completes a rigorous workout in minutes, returning home to overhear Brad justifying the elimination of non-magic users for a better world. Brad pressures Burndead for Mash's location, but Burndead steadfastly refuses. In a flashback, Burndead, facing constant failure and contemplating suicide, hears baby Mash's cries, abandoned for lacking a mark. Feeling a shared societal rejection, Burndead decides to raise Mash as his own. In the present, as Brad attacks Burndead, he screams for Mash to run. About to be defeated, Mash bursts through the door, incapacitating an officer with a powerful blow. Ignoring Terry's attempts to help, Mash reveals his loyalty to Burndead, rejecting the notion of running away. Brad, confident in his magical abilities, attacks Mash with a dragon-driving spell, only for Mash to effortlessly deflect it. Unfazed, Brad launches a stronger spell, but Mash slaps it away, causing an explosion elsewhere. Enjoying the magical skirmish, Mash disarms Terry and uses his father's wand. Brad, anticipating a magic attack, defends with a barrier. Mash surprises him by throwing the wand, breaking the barrier and forcing Brad to kneel. Brad, seeking the rewards, assures Mash of his backing, but warns of dire consequences if they refuse. Faced with the threat of being hunted, Mash reluctantly accepts the deal. At the prestigious East Magic Academy, Mash, sporting a fake mark, faces a notoriously difficult entrance exam with a meager 3% passing rate. Lucci, overseeing the applicants, notices Mash's unconventional workout with weights, creating confusion in the wrong venue. Unfazed, Mash continues his exercises, joined by Brad and Burndead, keeping an eye on him. Lucci, an esteemed mage, stylishly announces himself, earning admiration from the students. However, Mash's blunt comment about his flashy entrance sparks Lucci's dislike. The first exam begins with Lucci magically setting up the venue, impressing everyone except Mash, who suggests a simpler approach. The test involves enchanted papers with moving questions that applicants must dispel. Despite skepticism from Brad and Burndead, Mash crushes his pen, causing the words to align perfectly, finishing the test effortlessly. Lucci, determined to thwart, Mash conjures a maze from the ground, tasking examinees with reaching the goal in 30 minutes. Lemon joins Mash, but her constant falls reveal her ineptitude. Seizing an opportunity, she restrains Mash with magical cuffs, claiming a need to keep him from the goal. Unfazed, Mash swiftly breaks free, stating his own reasons to pass. As Mash leaves, a creature confronts Lemon with a riddle. Failing to answer, she faces an attack until Mash intervenes, dispatching the creature with a single punch. Questioned about his actions, Mash sympathizes, realizing a shared purpose. Concerned about completing the maze in time, Mash assures Lemon of a plan. Confident in Mash's failure, Lucci is shocked as the ground shakes and the maze crumbles. Mash, accused of cheating, joins the others. Lemon defends him, exposing Lucci's promise to help her enter the school by obstructing Mash. Unapologetic, Lucci unleashes magic, threatening to fail both Mash and Lemon. Undeterred, Mash crushes Lucci's wand, asserting his overreach. As the examiner, he announces the final interview, setting the stage for Mash's next challenge at the prestigious East Magic Academy. After class, Finn, hoping to avoid Mash as a roommate, discovers his room missing a door held by Mash. Realizing they'll be sharing the room, they start getting acquainted. Despite initial reservations, Finn sees Mash as a regular guy, until Mash's abrupt introduction of his muscles, leaving Finn puzzled about his new roommate's quirks. Mash mistakenly brings a giant plant root, thinking it's a broom, to class. Borrowing Finn's broom, he struggles to make it fly. Ridiculed by a student, Mash stomps his foot, causing the broom to fly to his hand. Accused of cheating for not using magic, Mash faces a challenge from the student, a race with the loser obeying the winner until graduation. The instructor doubts Mash's ability, but the race begins. To everyone's amazement, Mash sets a world record by seemingly moving instantly. Finn reveals that Mash threw the broom forward and jumped towards it in midair. Accused of cheating, Mash's opponent drops the bet, but continues berating him until Cavil, known as a troublemaker, arrives. Cavil apologizes for his friend's behavior, but the room falls silent when Mash mishears his name as Cabbage. Cavil, about to cast a spell, is interrupted by the teacher, who reminds them of the ongoing class. Cavil schedules a meeting after class, leaving with a warning. Mash, immersed in baking cream puffs, leaves Cavil waiting at the field, upsetting him. The next day, Cavil questions Mash about his absence, who apologizes, citing cream puff making as the reason, annoying Cavil. Offering to help Mash become the divine visionary, Cavil leverages his connection with the vice principal, turning Mash into his obedient follower. Preparing for class, Mash finds his book in bad shape. Finn reluctantly shares his book, and Mash appreciates having a friend. Serving Cavil water, Mash is ordered to clean the spilled water. Unbeknownst to Mash, Cavil instructed Finn to tamper with his books, and later plans to burn Mash's clothes. Finn refuses, prompting Cavil to use magic to harm Finn. Mash arrives, questioning Cavil's actions. Cavil claims he seeks an apology from Finn, who tearfully confesses to ruining Mash's books under Cavil's orders. Cavil invites Mash to dinner with the vice principal, but Mash retaliates by knocking him out. Finn warns Mash of expulsion as Vice Principal Farman arrives, witnessing the incident. Farman, biased towards Cavil, plans a school conference, belittling Mash and Finn. Mash covers Farman in a hole, threatening to bury him alive. Farman warns of consequences, but Mash stands firm. Summoned by the headmaster, Mash learns of a Bureau of Magic notice for his expulsion, emphasizing Cavil's privileged status. Despite this, Mash burns the notice to prevent unfair disadvantage for good people. Wahlberg visions Mash as a catalyst for change, hoping he becomes a divine visionary. Discussing Mash's goal, Wahlberg simplifies the process, earn high marks, and collect coins. Wahlberg pledges to handle the bureau and vice principal, and Mash departs. The next day, dorm captain Tom invites Mash to join a game resembling Quidditch from Harry Potter. Mash, unable to ride a broom, is dragged into the team. During the match, he remains on the ground, asserting his inability to ride. Misunderstood, the crowd cheers and throws things at him. Tom explains the game rules to his struggling teammate after their team faces a setback. The objective is to score points by passing the ball through the enemy ring, emphasizing broom technique over magic. Returning to the game, Tom is intentionally bumped by the enemy captain, leading to a fall and injuries. Concerned, Mash checks on him, but the enemy captain dismisses sportsmanship, prioritizing victory. Tom, despite knowing their impending loss, highlights the importance of giving one's best, rather than just winning. Facing a 50-point deficit, Tom's motivational words inspire Mash, who surprises everyone with exceptional broom skills. Despite the enemy team's charge, Mash, with inhuman strength, throws the ball, scoring a point. The crowd witnesses Mash's unique ability, as the ball returns like a boomerang, allowing him to score numerous points. Their score reaches 999, breaking records, and the Academy acknowledges their victory with silver coins. Post-match, Finn praises Mash's performance, but Mash, uninterested in the game, declines a rematch. Tom appreciates Mash's contribution with a hug, thanking him for the win. Meanwhile, student Lance targets Mash after learning about his achievement, setting the stage for future conflict. In class, Tom encourages Mash to practice, while Lemon suggests studying together, but Mash remains aloof. Suddenly, Lance appears, using a magical tool to trap Mash's friends inside a bottle. Lance directs Mash to the forest to rescue his friends, and then disappears. In the woods, Lance, a fellow coin collector, shows 2 silver coins. People typically have one magic line on their face, but some, like Lance, have more, indicating greater magical power. Lance challenges Mash to a duel, each betting a silver coin, which Mash accepts. Prepping the area with a spell, Lance uses gravity to slam Mash down when he attacks. Despite Lance's claim that no human can endure the spell, Mash punches through the ground, extracting giant roots and pushing Lance back. Lance's necklace falls, and Mash, curious, discovers Lance's sister's picture. Lance admits, a sister complex, asking for it back. Lance insists his sister is the most important, leading Mash to believe he's a creep. Threatening to drop Mash's friends off a cliff, Lance claims to use them to secure victory. In a flashback, Lance reveals his sister's incurable disease and his quest to become a divine visionary to save her from a system that devalues magic-less individuals. Back in the present, Lance drops the bottle using a magic spell to accelerate its descent, but Mash changes into his workout gear. He gets into the starting position and dashes forward, moving so fast that he disappears before his enemy's eyes. Lance tries to look for him, and Mash suddenly appears behind him. He can't believe that Mash managed to recover the bottle so quickly, thinking he must be using magic. But Mash is no longer interested in fighting because he knows that Lance is not a bad guy, pointing out that the bottle he dropped was empty. He rushes towards Lance, managing to grab the real bottle and frees his friends. Lance concedes the duel, handing over his silver coin before leaving. As he walks away, Mash realizes that Lance is actually a pretty good guy.